Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Idaho Business Podcast. Before we get into this, the podcast is sponsored by Lookout Credit Union. These guys are phenomenal. They're a local credit union from Burley all the way to Idaho Falls. And if you go into one of their branches and mention that you heard about them on the podcast and open up a new account, you'll get a free swag bag along with an exceptional service full of your hats and shirts, all the stuff you want, that especially coming around for summer season, you can use. So Lookout Credit Union, there you go. Marin and Chad are my guests today. They're personal friends of mine and just all around great people. Owner of Fresh Prep Food Services. And these guys have been at it for 2 to 2.5 years now. And they're operating from Pocatello all the way up to Idaho Falls currently and continuing to expand their service and their reach. Did I get anything wrong, you guys?
I don't think so. Did pretty good.
Okay. Very cool. All right, guys. Well, maybe let's start off some fun. Maybe there's a fun or interesting fact about yourselves. Do you want to share? Do you have anything like that?
A fun fact? No, we're just both of us are big foodies, and both of our families are just all about food. So we kind of had it bred into us. This is a little different, being more on the healthy side. I wouldn't say that I was brought up. Favorite. No, I enjoy it. But yeah, food has been a big part of our family's lives for all my life. So it's been fun to take a newer direction and get into the healthy eating side as I get older and my metabolism slows down, and you know how it goes.
Join the club. Those who don't know, Chad's family owns Del Monte Meats in Old Town, and pretty much the only place where I get my meats. So we'll plug in there for Del Monte there too. So
love it.
Perfect. And they cater. They do catering. So anyways, okay, let's get into it. Marin, do you have a fun fact for yourself, or?
No, I mean, he's right. We're just really into food and
okay.
That's about, yeah.
All right. So, you've been in the business, you've done the catering, you've done the butcher stuff, but was it just a natural transition into this business, or what was the deciding point that you're like, hey, this is a good idea, let's run with it?
Well, so I still am a personal trainer. I don't do it as often as I used to. Used to work at Pocatello Athletic Club that was in downtown. It's closed now. And we did a kind of a challenge, like a healthy eating challenge with some of my clients. And I had an older client, her name was Jane. I don't think she'll care if I say her name, but anyway, she does not like to cook. Like, she wanted to build her brand new house without a kitchen. That's how much she hates to cook. And so she kind of texted a group and said, hey, I want to do this. Is there anybody that would be willing to cook for me? And of course, nobody offered, And so I said, Jane, I'll cook your meals. Like, I'm going to cook mine anyway. We're doing this together. I'd be happy to help you out. So that's kind of where it all started. About 2.5, 3 years ago, is I was working at the gym and started making her meals, and the challenge ended, and just kept making her meals. And then people at the gym were like, hey, do you make meals for people? So really started small, did it out of our kitchen, and until we were doing maybe like 100 meals a week. Then it was kind of like getting a little too big for our kitchen, and so that's when we kind of transitioned to doing it at Del Monte's, because we use their catering kitchen, and it's just kind of just kept growing from there. And it was a side hustle for a long time, and then finally it was like, okay, kind of time to quit personal training. And I also did some book work on the side for Del Monte, and so it's a full-time gig for me now anyways.
That's cool. So how'd you wrangle Chad in on it? Because I know if you start taking away some of the broccoli from his brisket, or adding more broccoli to his brisket, he's not going to be a happy guy. So
yeah, starting out, I'm more maybe the negative Nelly a lot of times, and she had approached this idea about
even
these.
Before I started.
Yeah, even before.
Yeah.
She talked about doing this, and I was like, man, I think if we were in Boise or Salt Lake or somewhere like that, we could do it. But I don't see Pocatello being big enough to support it as, and be successful. But I'm wrong once again, Marin. But yeah,
We got him on board. I think I kind of tricked him into it, because I just kind of started it and then it progressed and got bigger, and now he's on board.
I like it. Well, what's one of your favorite parts about the business so far?
It's really rewarding to make healthy food that tastes good also. I think that's maybe a myth about, fresh prep, is that it's all tasteless and bland and
diet food.
And it's really not. I mean, this week we did Italian sweet potato nachos, and I don't know if you've ever been to Johnny Carino's and had their Italian nachos. Well, that's kind of our take of Italian nachos, but we use sweet potato and not the Alfredo sauce, but there's still cheese on there, and so and it's portioned, so it's just kind of fun to take maybe not so healthy recipes and make them healthy and be able to just provide a service that people honestly need, as busy as we are nowadays.
I can see that. When I try to eat healthy, and I've been losing weight and I've been eating healthier, but at the same time, when I have to cook for myself and have to cook, I'm Mr. Simple. Like, I throw a bland piece of chicken on there, the smoker side of me who wants to smoke everything. I'll smoke the chicken and stuff, but for some reason, I'm like, well, I can't. All my other my seasonings are fine, but then my barbecue sauces, all this kind of stuff has got a lot of sugar in it. So I'm like, oh, I can't use that. That actually makes it taste good, because I pretty much hate chicken. But I'm sure people get that, and that's why you guys have been doing so well. Plus other great service and stuff. But that's a huge one, because I think all my healthy cooking tastes like complete garbage. So
yeah, it is rewarding to make food taste good, and like you said before, we pretty much have the best meat in town to use, and so that's fun to be able to use quality meat and know that we're giving customers great meats and fresh products. So
when you have like a good menu to choose from, and pretty much professional cooks like your guys yourselves doing it for for the general public, it doesn't feel like you're really on a diet. It makes you feel like, wow, this is good stuff I'm getting to eat here. It's not like I can't stay on this wagon much longer. I'm going to have to binge hard here. That's speaking, of course, from experience, but yeah, that's interesting. Well, perfect. Maybe Chad, sorry, did I cut you off?
No, go ahead.
Okay, good. All right. Is there one of the biggest mistakes / learning experiences you guys have made along the way in those last 2.5 years with the business?
Man, I really don't feel like an expert in business at all. I feel like we are learning all the time, and trial by error in some ways, when we don't, if you don't know something works till you try it. But I think we've seen things that don't work, whether it's how we would take orders, or take payments, or we've streamlined a lot of that, and a website and that kind of technology has helped a lot. And
cool.
having a good IT person that we can talk to and has helped a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think along with, the technology side of things that we really had to learn, because neither one of us are real big, we don't deal a lot with that kind of stuff. But not only that, but like cooking the food, learning how long, or if we can cook like our roast overnight, even just the simple things like how we cook our scrambled eggs and just certain meals, and just trial and error. I mean, we've had to redo stuff, or Chad left some roast beef cooked it all night accidentally one time, and so had to.
It was definitely done.
It was a little crispy, but we had to redo that one, So
It's like the Christmas vacation turkey you're telling,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
yeah, it was pretty much unsavable.
Well, cool. Now, how does this work with your company? Is it a subscription type model? Like, just if you want to be 3 or whatever, how many meals a day you're doing all through the month? Or is it just what? How does it work? I guess.
So we have a weekly menu. We have 10 different options, and we rotate. We have about a 6 or 7 week rotation. However, we always add, new items on. And so sometimes things will go off and things will go back on. But you can just order, like we have 5 on Monday, 5 on Thursday, and you can order 1 or 10 or how many ever you want. So we are working on a subscription service right now, but it's never going to be required. I guess we never want people to feel like, that they have to order so many meals a week, or they're committed to it. On a business side of things, that's a nice thing to have, but we want people to have the option to order how many meals they want. We're also pretty good at special requests. I have people that don't like tomatoes or mushrooms or onions, or maybe most of our stuff is gluten-free, but there's a couple things like maybe some wraps. So we, always want to let them, tell us with some, I mean, I'm not going to do like a totally different, thing than what's on the menu unless it's a custom meal, but we're pretty good at special requests. So the main reason we want to do a subscription service is not only at the business end of things, that's great to have that guaranteed cash flow. But we've had a huge influx of elderly clients wanting our services. And, not a lot of them, like to use the internet and or know how or can order it. And so that's our main reason we want to start doing that, is just to make it more convenient for them. And it's going to be like a 4, 6, 10 meal per week, and they could still tell us their special requests, but we want to make it easier for them and help them out, because they are a population that really, really needs these services. So for sure.
I just hear you guys are just continually adding value. That's all I hear. It's just, and of course it's going to be good for your business, but I've always been a big believer, the more value that you add to other people's lives, your business is going to continue to thrive anyways. So I like that.
Yeah, that's the other part of it too, is if you lock people into the subscription each month, and maybe they want to take a vacation for 10 days, and they still have these meals that they're paying for and can't use. And so
I was pretty against the subscription for service at first, because looking into other meal prep businesses, trying to figure out how we were going to do everything, I was like, man, I don't want people to feel like they have to buy my product. I don't want to be able to choose. But now we realize it's a totally different thing. It's for people that forget to order, even though we send out emails and texts and whatever, people still say we forget to order, and then the elderly too, or where they can just have these meals and not have to, I could even set it up for them, or so they don't have to be on the internet. So
sure. I like that. What's the best piece of advice you would tell those that are interested in your services and not quite made the jump yet?
Well, I think taste is one, that they should try out some meals. And we actually do sell our meals now for the same price on our website at Gold's Gym and Pokey. So you can just walk right in. You don't have to be a member. You can just walk right in, purchase the meals. And I think that way, sometimes they're a little maybe apprehensive that they're not going to be good, or maybe they're not going to fill them up enough, or all those things. So I think the best thing is to kind of order a variety, or hop in there to Gold's and try some.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think proof is in the pudding there.
Yeah. I like it. And if you're one of those guys or gals that is consuming, 5 pounds of brisket at a sitting, Yeah, most likely if you're coming from off of that to one of those meals, you probably could be a little hungry, but that's what you're supposed to be eating, those that are out there listening. So
And we
that's how you
do,
get healthy.
sorry, we do an additional meal, it's called, and it's basically a meal and a half. And so, a lot of my guy clientele, we've got some CrossFitters over there at Kulak that eat it, and they like the additional meals because they're a little bit more filling and more calories if they're trying to meet a certain macro count. So we kind of have both options there, but the regular ones are pretty filling. I mean, Chad and I eat them for dinner quite a bit. So
those just the slower digesting carb stuff in there seems to fill you up. And I mean, I like to eat, but they fill me up.
I like it. So you're seeing a lot of success from people that have been pretty diligent on this, on the meals?
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of people that, have just made the change to maybe they just eat them for lunches instead of eating out, or, maybe they're single or trying to be on a certain plan, and that it's really helped them not only like with time, but with their health and fitness goals too. So that's fun to hear.
Very cool. All right, well, let's get into the lightning round here as we come to an end.
Sure.
The lightning round is sponsored by Sensations over there by Gold's Gym in Pocatello and also in Twin Falls. These guys are phenomenal at giving you your tans, your tanning beds, your spray tans, your massages, your mani-pedi. You can bring even Chad over there to get your pedicure if you want. And a little pink on the toenails, But these guys do a great service over there. And here soon they're going to be offering some great deals if you mention the podcast as you walk in the door. So Sensations, and you can reach them at 208-237-7866. Okay. All right. What's one of the best maybe books or tools or softwares you've used in the past or even now that's kind of stuck out in your mind or helped you?
I think Google Calendar. Pretty simple.
That's great. No, that's a good one. I live and die by that.
Yeah. I don't think we have anything complex that we use other than, our website, QuickBooks, and Google Calendar.
Yep. Do you use QuickBooks Online or the desktop?
We use the desktop version, and that's been a great tool that I've had working for other businesses over the year, learned how to do that. And I'm kind of the nerd. I like to do the book work, and so it's nice to be able to know how to do that.
That's good. I also use the QuickBooks, but I use the online version, so a little different. Okay. All right. What's maybe the biggest myth that maybe these business owners need to know the truth about?
Biggest myths. Maybe that if you own your own business, that you have more time and that you're freer or something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not a 9-to-5 job. You bring it home on the weekends.
More than you should.
You're thinking about it a lot more than if you were just, working for the man.
Yep.
In some ways it's easier because you can, somewhat make your own schedule. We've got kids that play travel ball, and we don't miss a game unless we have to. But the buck stops with you. So
yeah,
sometimes you're there early or late, and especially in a new business, we have some great employees, a couple employees that work for us.
Yeah, that's huge.
And they allow us to, we were just in Sun Valley last weekend, but it's still not a 9-to-5 for sure.
Yeah. If you're the personality that is in the middle of a job and 5 o'clock rolls around, you're like, I'll pick it up in the morning. This might not be the opportunity for you as a business owner. Like, you need to have that personality. Like, it's got to get done no matter what. No matter what, it's got to get done. Yeah. So there are certain small things, of course, you can put off that aren't time sensitive, but
sure.
Yeah, people got to have their meals.
Yeah, not when you have a deadline. It's a little less stressful than catering, because Chad always says he won't do catering, but because it's stressful. But the mills, it's like, well, we have till Monday morning at we start delivering around 4 a.m. So we have to work through the night. We might have to, but
wow, I like it. All right, well, what's one question I should have asked that I didn't?
I don't know how to put it in a question, but as far as from a business standpoint, one thing that I have been really impressed on through my life is the value of relationships that you build, whether it's employees or vendors or customers. I've seen them come around where you meet somebody and you take care of them, and then years later that relationship comes back to really have, well, even a financial value or even more than that, in a bigger way than when you first met them. I've seen it over and over, and it always impresses me every time.
I like that. So not always being the Rico Suave slick salesman is
Right,
not always the key there. It's more relationships, and I concur with that. I love that. So very good. Marin, do you have anything you want to add? Anything you left out?
No, I mean, I think we pretty much covered it. I mean, we talked about the relationships, and I just think it's we really try and just treat every customer right. And if we mess up, we want to make it right away. I'm not a person that's like, I mean, man, if I missed a meal or we put tomatoes on your meal and we weren't supposed to, then here's your refund, or here's a discount code. We really just want to take care of our customers and want them to get a great service and in turn want to keep coming back to us. So
I like it. Well, you hear it, guys. That's pretty much a risk-free opportunity for you to get healthy. So if you're like me and you're trying to put down a whole brisket on the weekends by yourself, this might be a good opportunity for you. So coming from a guy that just smoked 18 pounds of tri-tip, Chad knows all about it. I probably ate more than I should have. But okay. Well, if the people listening to us now think, hey, this is a good opportunity for me, what's the best way to get a hold of you guys and to get this process started for them?
Our website is freshpreppocatello.com. And we're also on social media, Instagram, Facebook. But our website's probably the easiest way. They can click on there and read reviews, look at the meals for the week, and order on there. It's pretty easy and straightforward. So
I like it. Very cool. And do you guys have, since you're a personal trainer and stuff, do you guys have any like healthy tips or maybe some training advice you put in there with them as well? The people maybe that are new to it all?
You know what? We need to be doing that, but we're not. So that's a great, we'd like to start providing some, tips on our Instagram as far as like, we don't care obviously we'd love it if people bought meals from us, but we'd love to show them how to roast vegetables or, things like that. So.
Very cool. All right, guys, you heard it from these guys, Marin and Chad, that they are looking to add value to your life. They're looking to help you get healthier. So go and visit them on their website and start the change now. And I appreciate you guys coming on the show. And thank you.
It's fun to be with you.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thank you.
Okay. And to all those that are listening, just go out and conquer your day. Have a positive day. Be a positive influence in other people's day. Until next time, keep listening to the Idaho Business Podcast. See you later.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.